Oh, Wales. Okay, with H.
Literal whales. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and all variations thereof, and welcome back to session 59.5 of Shadows of Sorcery. We do these sessions sometimes, the 0.5 sessions, where we take on a specific character's storyline. Instead of branching out to the entire party, we've done a few 0.5 sessions in the past. One with Isaac, one with Gilk. There's been a few. And today, our 0.5 session is dedicated to our dear friend, Darren, who has recently transformed into a Dragonborn with wings. The winged kind of Dragonborn. And today we are joined by both Darren and Prodigious Maximus to explore some of the changes that Darren is slowly settling into. This 0.5
Puberty
session...
Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yes. This 0.5 session canonically takes place the day after the infiltration of the palace, the magisterial palace. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Yeah. So, with that being said, let's jump right in, shall we? We don't need a recap for this because we all know what happened last time, right?
I mean, it was only a week ago, right? Human memories last longer than that, usually.
I want to plead the fact that I have officially a memory issue.
You both do, I'm relatively certain.
Yeah, I feel like most of this party does.
Yeah. Zarian says he doesn't, but I can tell you now that he does. Okay. So, last we left off, our party of intrepid heroes had infiltrated the magisterial palace, and then, after a grueling day of hard infiltration, decided to go to the local bathhouse. And you took an evening to just relax, to scrub the dirt from your skin and your scales and your various porous-like flesh coverings. You two had a conversation about your quote-unquote relationship interests, and you have established a broship, as it were. A bro relationship, which I personally do not understand. Mainly the bro part, I'm gonna be honest. That stuff makes no sense to me.
You just need to get into it, bro.
Yeah, you just need to find a bro. You just need a bro, dude. That's how it goes.
Yeah. We just need to bro it up.
Terrifying.
Like, being bro-delicious with each other is part of the bromance, you know?
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. At any rate, you both take a long rest that evening in the inn. Separate bedrooms, of course. Darren, I would like you to roll me a wisdom saving throw. How much gold do you have in your inventory right now?
I knew that was coming. Okay,
I believe it's around 16,000?
I haven't received any more since the last time you asked me. So yeah, about 114 platinum and then 9 gold.
Okay, so about 11,000-ish.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Alright. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Yep. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
Cool.
You awaken feeling refreshed All your belongings are as they were. You awaken with the sheets wrapped around your scales and a little, like, jammed under them, and you, like, as you sit up, the sheets tear slightly, like, ripping across your scales. And it's a bit of a awkward, like, sitting up going, that's an issue I'm going to have to contend with in the future.
I'm probably gonna have to pay for this now, aren't I?
They're only little tears, but, you know. But yeah, you awaken. It's relatively early morning at this point. You do notice, as you're getting up, that a couple of small coins have dropped out of your pouch and are just lying on the floor.
Should probably pick those up before somebody else scampers in and grabs them.
Okay. You pick a few of them up. There's something you never noticed before is when you pick them up, they feel warm to the touch. Like when you pick up this like gold, and it feels. It's not like heat, but it's like emotional warmth. Like you pick it up and you feel a little burst of happiness inside. It's like, oh, I have gold. That's nice.
Can I bust down the door?
Sure. Prod drop kicks the door.
Yeah.
Oh, good morning. Oh, how you doing? I am ready to get my pump on.
Prod.
That steam bath
Let me
was
set the
banging.
scene for you. You kick open the door, standing there in full armor regalia. Darren is standing there in nothing.
Rod does not care.
I'd have preferred if you knocked first.
Nah. I would just waste time. Oh, look. Oh, looking at your gold. Nice. Ah, you torn your sheets. You need silk ones. They'll slide over your scales a bit more. I had that problem when I started going to sleep in this armor.
What? Okay, never mind. No, there was a rip in one of my coin purses. I was just picking everything back up.
Oh, I wonder if I like digging around. I think I might have a needle somewhere, but can't find one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe we could stop by a fashion boutique. Get a fashionable coin purse. Coin purse.
Coin purse. Coin purse sounds like a difference. I think that's a hex for your dick. But not right. Where did I put my pants? 1 minute. 1 second.
Sort of like.
They are lying with the rest of your armor on like the lower shelf of the bedside table next to your bed. There's a bit of like a bit of a distortion between like you go to grab like your armor, and for a moment you're like, oh, I got it, and then you realize that your hand has fallen like 5 centimeters short of actually grabbing it, and you realize that your brain hasn't quite caught up with the length of your arms now. It feels a bit weird. You're slowly starting to realize the extra dimensions of your body, like the extra 2 feet of height, the extra like half a foot of length in your arms and your legs, all of that sort of thing.
The fact that Prod looks shorter.
Prod does look shorter to you. I mean, not as short, not as tall as he was before, and definitely still taller than you, but slightly shorter, because you are taller. You start to realize that the proportions of everything around you is very slightly different. There is a point where you turn around and your wings knock a an unlit candle off the sconce in the wall. And you're like, oh, that's a thing. I need to be careful of that. And like you flex experimentally to see if you can pull the wings in. I'd like you to roll me a dexterity check, please.
Oh boy. Let's see. Dex. Yep. 5.
You experiment with pulling your wings in, and immediately you, like, it's trying to figure out the movement of brand new muscles, and in attempting to pull your wings in, you immediately spread them out. You think, oh, I need to tense my wings to pull them in. But by tensing, you immediately bring all the muscles together, which spreads them out wide as possible. There's a sudden crash as several things are knocked off the walls, and Prod, you find yourself suddenly pushed up against a wall by a massive pair of wings.
Yeah, fuck them pictures.
Sorry. Still not quite used to those.
The pictures?
The wings. I don't know quite how to explain it. It's like there's a new room in my house that I've never been to or something, and I don't quite know what key works on the lock. I don't know. I don't quite know how to explain it. It's muscles and whatnot that I haven't had before.
You want to spend some time trying to figure out how to use your wings, maybe in a less enclosed space?
Your previous suggestions involved throwing me off a building.
Well, then my next suggestion was you stand on my shoulders and then I run really fast and you flap.
Which, worst case scenario, we both end up with our face in the dirt, I guess. As opposed to me being a pancake. How about you go downstairs, like grab some food or whatever, and I'll get dressed and we'll, I don't know, spend the day doing something. I don't think we're in imminent danger of yet another assassination attempt.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna make pancakes, see you down there in, half an hour.
Sure. I guess I'm gonna try and pick up some of these paintings.
Ron,
yeah.
Before you leave, what is the value that I assigned your armor? You know?
I don't have my Tailspire open at the moment. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna scroll back with my messages with you. Whee! Scroll. It's legendary.
Okay.
You didn't.
I didn't assign a value to it for you. No, that would be fair because you haven't had it appraised. Okay. You, on instinct, Darren, you catch like the. It's a bit of a weird thing because you have never seen magic before, Darren.
Oh, right. No, not the way you mean.
Yeah, you have never visually seen magic. Like, you've seen people do magic. And you've seen people, like, you've seen people throw fireballs and cast lightning. You've seen the librarian do some insane feats of magic. But you have never seen the essence of magic before. And I'm going to grant you this now, because you're slowly settling into your Draconic form. You get a passive Detect Magic. That is always running, but it is not as powerful as a normal Detect Magic. You can simply tell that there is magic, you cannot tell what school it is from. So you gain a passive detect magic vision, essentially, for future stuff. You can put it down as a racial feature. Passive detect magic within 30 feet. Or should I say, passive detect magic within 30 feet within line of sight. Does not inform on the schools of magic within the confines of this spell. It's not a spell, it's just a passive thing that you get.
Neat.
But as you're watching Prod leave, you notice these like small wisps of vapor like curling off of the edges of the armor, like this little dark it's as if you took like gossamer strands of light and then turned them into shadow, and they're just slowly whispering their way off Prod's armor. When you look down at the things around you, you look at the communication ring, and that is showing this little gentle blue, like it's not a flame, it's just like a gentle fluttering glow. But all your items, as you're starting to look around, are offsetting all of these gentle little colors of sparkling magic.
Turn back and go, they love to see me walk away. And then I'm gonna say,
I didn't expect that. I'm just gonna try and see if I can, pick up one of these pictures with my tail or something real quick.
Okay. Roll me a dexterity check.
It's a big and thick thing. I doubt I can, but I wonder. 10.
Your tail is not the most dexterous thing in the world. You attempt to curl the tip around one of the painting edges, and it's like trying to curl like one of those rubber squeaky toys, basically. It bends, but it wants to bend back. And holding it in that shape for long periods of time does start to hurt. So it's not the most dexterous thing. You do manage to like shift the painting a little bit, and you can definitely use your tail to pick stuff up, but fine motor control is out the window with the tail.
Yeah, I just need to practice with that a little bit more. Is there is there like a mirror in this room at all?
The room that you're in has an adjoining sort of like washroom of sorts, which has
an ensuite. Yay.
It's not an ensuite. It has like a basin, a small mirror, and like a sort of it's like a linen closet basically. So it's literally just like a wash basin in like a small closet. But it does have a mirror, a silver-backed mirror, which, as you're looking at it, is you sort of like as you're like touching the mirror, looking at your face, you touch the mirror and it feels a little warm under your fingers.
Not again. I'm just gonna try and pick up the mirror and see if there's anything anything about my body that seems not as I maybe expected it to be.
Okay. What exactly are you looking for?
Well, my mental image at the time of the ritual was of
which parts of yourself are you looking at specifically? And I'll tell you what you see.
my mental image when I was in the ritual thing was of admittedly a quite young but nonetheless a dragon.
Yeah.
So having come out of that as a dragonborn means there was presumably a mapping process of some description from what I was thinking of to what I ended up as.
Yes.
So I'm kind of just getting the whole thing as much of a once over as I can. Ideally, I'd have 2 mirrors for this, but
okay.
see what I can get with 1.
So you take a full overview of your body at this point. What you see is this. Across the sort of shoulders, back, generally down across your posterior, the legs, all of this sort of thing. Most of that is covered in these small coppery bronze scales that are like chevron shaped. And they go across your shoulders, down to your wrists, down across your back, along your sides, across your legs, and over your feet. Your feet are sort of much more taloned than they used to be. They have 4 toes and then 1 sort of rear-facing sort of talon. And your front plating, because it is plating, you realize, like you tap the core of your chest and it's like this segmented, not exactly bone-like material, but it is the segmented plating material that goes down the front of your chest. You do notice that compared to your average scales, it would be much easier to slide a knife up between one of those plates. But it is still relatively protected. Like if someone tried to stab you directly forward, it probably wouldn't pierce through. The wings are large. You notice that there's small bits of like stretch scarring on the top edges of the wings. And as you like stretch them out, and it's a bit difficult in this confined space, but as you stretch them out, you notice that the wings become a bit more translucent as they stretch. And you start being able to see like shadows on the other side of your wings, or lights sort of piercing through a little bit. It's like looking at a very relatively thin membrane of skin. Like when you shine a torch under your hand and you can see like the veins through the back of it. The face area is a little odder, I guess, than you're used to. Like you still have like the piercing eyes that you had before, but now they have a slightly different pupil. That's more like cat-like or Draconic in this instance. You also you like start feeling around your snout. You realize that you have. It's not a beard, but there's like small segments of chitin or something that are sort of protruding slightly from your chin. It's like very, very tiny horns that are... They're not a beard per se, but they make it look like you have a small beard around the edge of your chin. The other part of yourself that you find most interesting are the horns. That sort of, they curl backwards and up. In your mind, they were a major part of this sort of draconic being that you wanted to become. And you've certainly managed them they are a lot clearer as they were in your mental image than a lot of the rest of you is. And you think that might be because that's part of where you were focusing a lot of like mental energy on yourself, was those horns and sort of that shape of things. The visual of the wings and the tail and the horns, those were the big pieces of yourself that you wanted. Everything else was kind of secondary, but those three things, those were something you knew about. That's something that you knew would need to be part of the coming identity, essentially. There are a few bits and pieces that you're not entirely certain of. As you explore your body, there are certainly, like, you didn't expect the scales on your ass. That part was very much unexpected, but not a bad kind of unexpected. The way your lower section is set up confuses you at first. It doesn't...
It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to me that the horns came out so well, and yet everything else seems to be lacking a bit of definition there.
At first, your thought is there's something missing.
Not a new thought there.
Then you realize that no, it's not missing. It's just not visible. And it takes a moment of like figuring out how all of this works before you press down sort of just above the pelvic region, and you get again this sort of warm sensation, but a lot more like more like gentle heat cooling at the bottom of your stomach. And as you're sort of staring down, you feel this sort of shift of specific muscles engaging, and you realize that this isn't your traditional sort of receptory organ. This is a sheath. It contains something. And as you start sort of exploring, you feel what is essentially a dick. Not something you've ever had before. But it certainly feels like it, if you were to imagine what that felt like. It takes a moment, but eventually you realize that there is sort of a method of unsheathing this particular organ. And when you do, its full length stands to about 8 inches. It is ridged. There are 4 small ridges along its length, and it ends in a point. It's relatively soft as an organ, but it looks, for all intents and purposes, sharp. But it's like touching a It feels soft to the touch. It looks hard, but it feels soft. It looks sharp, but it feels like gentle and smooth. The ridges...
Firm but yielding to pressure.
Firm but yielding to pressure, yes. The ridges, you realize, also have small, very small, like, nubs along the underside. Like, on each side, there are rows of, like, little, very small spikes. Not spikes, just like little nubs. And the whole thing is sort of capped off by this primary sort of ridge around the top that ends in this point. And you haven't read all that much about draconic reproductive organs. Like, the material
Doesn't
out
tend to
there...
come up in the legends.
The material out there is few and far between. But you assume this is what a dragon or dragonborn's reproductive organ would look like. It is certainly odd to you. It feels weird. Yeah. That's what you get from your mirror exploration. The sensation of...
How much time did Prod give me?
It's
Like half an hour?
Prog gave you about 15 minutes.
You and I are going to be very good friends later. How do I... I now need to figure this out in reverse. Because my pants were not bought with this in mind.
Okay. Roll
And then I
me,
will get
roll
dressed.
me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
You wanted to explore this.
Oh no. 13.
13 straight? Oh dear.
Yep.
It takes a minute. You do eventually manage to retract your reproductive organ. But as you're putting on your trousers, you come to the realization that it's not completely retracted. And as you're walking out of your room, you realize that the tip is gently rubbing on the leather of the trousers as you're walking out. And it doesn't feel uncomfortable, but you get the feeling that should that feeling persist, your reproductive organ might achieve its full extension again. You can bring Elfie back now. You can just wave to them. Welcome back, Elfie. We've stopped talking about dicks now.
For a hot minute.
My favourite game is just to
Yes.
I was going through jobs and I was just glancing over and seeing Lang's face, and just like the facial expression that was happening was quite a lot. Was very funny.
After this, I'm asking Lucian exactly how much research you put into that description, but... Anyways, Darren comes down the stairs, shirtless, but otherwise clothed.
The answer to that question I'll give you now. How much furry porn do you think I've seen in my life?
Not a question I generally ask people.
Yeah, I know.
After meeting you, a lot.
Maybe.
I think you've seen a lot.
I mean, I've been on the internet since 1996. I've been exposed to some amount of it. That much was unavoidable. For God's sake, I survived the My Little Pony resurgence.
I was in the middle of the My Little Pony resurgence.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes. I walked down the stairs. No shirts, because I'm expecting this to be a bit of a workout.
Yeah.
But otherwise clothed. Looking a little bit uncomfortable, but otherwise fine.
You spy Ingvar and the librarian as you go down. Ingvar...
I made pancakes!
Ingvar is talking to the bartender, and the librarian is sitting in a corner scribbling in a interesting-looking book.
I come out. I was like, they let me in the kitchen so I could make pancakes. Do you want one?
You know what? Sure.
Prod
And then it's this
is-
big meaty
Seems,
slab
it
of a
seems like a good
pancake.
day for pancakes.
The
Prod is
fattest
holding
pancake you've ever seen.
what is essentially what Zarian would describe as a protein pancake, which is a pancake but that's made with protein powder.
Protein powder.
I should know. I used to make them for him.
Where did they get protein powder in this fantasy setting?
It's actually peas that have been dried and then crushed, because peas are mostly protein.
This is technically true, actually.
This is what I do.
Okay. I'm going to sit myself down, get my big plate of gigantic pancakes. I'm going to try and focus very much on depth perception and where everything is, and see if I can get through putting out at least a chunk of this pancake to then eat.
Like, okay,
Apparently
when I
it's
was
that
making
kind of
these,
morning.
yeah, I'm gonna be talking at Darren. Prod does not care if Darren's listening.
I'm paying attention, I'm just focusing.
So I was thinking while I was making the pancakes, what could we do to like make you, well, work out the wings essentially? And what I was thinking, right, is it's basically the. Oh no, Alfie doesn't know this word. I've said a muscle at the back. Your lats.
Lats.
So,
I don't know if
what
it's
we're gonna
lats. Zarian would know.
Sarah, hang on.
are
Game
you
time
gonna-
pause. Muscles in the back.
Okay, I thought you were gonna just send Zarian a
Images.
message. What are the muscles in the back called?
Your trapezius. So we're gonna work out your trapezius, and what we can do is we can do like a bunch of like tension exercises, and then doing this and press up. And we can do sort of like lifting of weights, and then we can like figure out where the muscles in the back correspond to the muscles in the wings, and then we can see how that works, and we can get your flapping, and as soon as we get your flaps ready, then we can then we can try and do takeoff.
How much success am I having with eating this pancake currently?
Roll me a dex check with advantage.
Oh boy.
I'm giving you advantage on this because it's been a few days and you're starting to get used to your arms generally.
Oh. Yeah, I'm glad you gave me advantage.
Ouchie.
Oh, that's
You're not
a
having
5.
You're not having some very good rolls today.
Seems it. That's 10.
Okay. Do you what do you have on your pancakes?
I mean, I would say maple syrup, but Canada doesn't exist in this setting, as far as I know.
There's syrup.
Sweet honey.
Some manner of like sticky sweet syrup.
Okay. Like it. There, you do manage to eat some of it, but you do also manage to smear syrup along your top lip several times to the point where at least like some of it is slowly going up your nose a little bit. You manage to eat it, and it tastes lovely, but also it's getting very sticky around the mouth area now.
Try and lick that off in the classical fashion of a dog, I guess.
Roll me.
Please
a
tell
dex-
me that doesn't require it.
Roll me
I
dex
was a-
check.
Oh, you son of a... I signed up for this, but you
You
dick.
did. You literally signed up for this.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
I expertly lick the
Your
lick
long,
the syrup.
prehensile tongue, about 4 inches long, sticks out, licks up, around, over your snout. Yeah, you realize that your tongue is actually incredibly dexterous.
Jotting that down in the old logbook.
You actually like attempt to manipulate it. You notice there's a bowl of cherries over on the counter. You attempt to manipulate one of the cherry stems into a knot, and it is easy as fuck.
I
got
have a
one
new
thing
party
now.
trick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go. You missed a bit. Hang on. Let me get you, bro. Let me get you, bro. I sort of like. Yeah. Do you want to lick it? No. That feels weird.
Sure,
Fuck it on the armor.
Before you like wipe off the finger with your onto your armor, I'm just going to wrap my tongue around it.
It tastes like metal
I mean, yeah, that's
because
to be
Prod's
expected.
still wearing the gauntlets.
Yeah.
You told me we're just friends. What's going on here?
I'm learning a lot about myself today.
Clearly.
I might be a little overconfident.
Okay.
And I mentioned things are weird and exaggerated for me currently.
Cool. Can I look at your back for a second? I want to like identify all the muscles, like the trapezius and the elevator scapulae and the rhomboid minor and the rhomboid major and the latissimus dorsi, and so on, to try and see what muscles do what for your wings that we can work
Well,
out.
I don't know what the Letitia or Dorset is in for this, but okay.
Does
Sit
Latin
around.
exist in this
Okay.
world?
You take a look at Darren's back, Prod. There are a lot more muscles here than you think there should be on a normal person. The wing muscles themselves are connected to multiple layers of dense back muscles as well. And you notice that the wing muscles go all the way up to the sort of right top edges, where you notice these little hooked talons at the top, and then down again right to the other edge of the wing. And you like press against parts of Darren's back, and like you press on one piece very specifically, and you watch as the wings go poof, and just open up wide. A table gets knocked over. Several patrons yell out as like Darren's wings just go wing.
Sorry, we'll do this outside. Apologies. Just fold back up the wings. Alright. Do we think we should put
I love
some
that I have a
like
kung
bungee
fu
cord
action
round
button,
these?
apparently.
Hang on. I take like I don't know. I have a strip of fabric that I just quietly wrap around the top of the wings and just be like, I'm just gonna gently wrap them up while we're inside until you've got a hang of it.
I love that I now canonically have a kung fu action button, apparently.
Yeah. You press one specific point on Darren's back, and he enters a kung fu pose. His wings spread.
Alright, sick.
I will finish up my pancakes and then we are going outside.
There's a sort of gymnasium attached to that sauna place that we can work out at. I scoped it out earlier.
Sure. Hopefully there's nothing about as light as that table and within wings reach.
Oh yeah, I should
guess.
probably pick that up. Picks up the table. Sorry, sets all the cutlery back. Thank you for letting me make the pancakes.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys get up, you head out of the tavern, you leave the librarian, Arcus, and Ingvar to their various things, and you head out to the gym/sauna area, which is, relatively close by. We're just going to use this set as usual. There is the sauna itself. Hold on, let me see if I can. There we go. Is this building here, and there is like a tavern. There's varying people. You do notice that there's 4 members of the City Watch on a ladder, handing down a set of unconscious mercenaries in barrels.
It's fine.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
Nothing to do with us.
Yeah. So, what are you guys doing first?
Well, let me see. I don't know where to start here, honestly. Which is kind of exactly the way Darren feels. Yes, I'll just find a decently open space away from anybody else, and just start trying to move things intentionally.
Okay.
Just by just starting with, I guess, like the basic expansion and retraction kind of
most
situation.
of the streets are relatively crowded, but you do manage to find a relatively low rooftop that you can climb up to that has a decent amount of space around it, and isn't in the way of anybody, and there's no like stuff on it that you need to worry about. So you do manage to find one of those. Give me just to test your general wing strength. Give me a strength check or an athletics check if that's better for you.
It is not. They are both 0. 16.
Okay, 16. So the DC on this was a
my
50.
muscles may be mostly for show, but apparently they work.
Your muscles are new, and it takes time to get them functioning properly. But eventually you do manage to angle and stretch your wings out to a point where you feel like that's how they should look in flight, or partially in flight. And you give them an experimental, like, and within a few additional beats, you realize that you are starting to lift off the ground. And Prod, you notice this, and you immediately grab Darren by the tail. And
should we be on the floor for this?
Probably a good idea.
Also, what about a length of rope tied to your ankle, so if you don't know how to go down,
actually,
I can pull you down.
Real quick.
Right now, I can say with certainty I know very much how to go down. It's just more the landing that worries me.
Real quick. Prod, you grab Darren's tail. Roll me a wisdom saving throw, Darren.
Oh boy. Hip. That is a 10.
That is a 10. Part of your new animalistic instincts, you suddenly feel like they could kick in. As Prod grabs your tail, you feel slight panic at being grabbed.
Please tell me I can't drop my tail.
And you realize
that
there is a distinct possibility that you could just let the tail go.
Oh. Great,
What's
I've caught Gecko. Could you ease up on the tail, please?
Sorry.
Thank you. Let's go down to ground level.
I was thinking maybe above some water, perhaps? So, slightly softer landing.
Is there anywhere with a large amount of water here? That's...
Maybe a bathtub?
Honestly, it's a miracle the sauna exists.
Alright.
There is
Well, I'll
nowhere...
catch you.
The only place that you've seen with a decent amount of water in the city is the fountain in the Central Bazaar Plaza. And that's not... It's not exactly a pool of water, it's like concentric levels of rings of water that you can't really safely drop into without skewering yourself on a statue, basically.
Right. Well, try and see as high as you go. and I'll just be underneath with my arms open wide.
On the ground level, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we go to the ground level.
Okay.
Wait, how do we
you
go to the ground
go-
level?
Hop.
Hop.
You go to the ground level and you sort of clear a space on the street. It's relatively early morning, there's not too many people about. So you have what would essentially qualify as a relatively decent runway.
Alright, if I go this way, and then you run towards me, flapping, like this, yeah?
Alright. Okay. Okay, I can do this. I can do this.
You can do this! Darren, 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 Darren,
Roll
Darren!
me either a acrobatics check or a straight dexterity check.
Once again, they're equivalent, so... Dice, don't fail me now. Dice, you failed me now.
Can I help? In any way?
I don't see how under these circumstances. You're like 60 feet away.
I would say you can help in a moment. Darren, you begin your run. You spread your wings, you start to flap them, you know you have the strength to do this, it's just a matter of getting it done. You manage to get off the ground.
Hey!
You manage to get 10 feet off the ground. 15 feet off the ground. You attempt to slow and stop yourself. 20 feet. 25 feet. The sudden feeling of being very high up and not liking it kicks in. You lose control of your wings. You lash out with your tail. One of your wings accidentally hits what looks like an edge of a building, and you fall. I would like you to make a dexterity or acrobatics saving throw. Prod, you can help with this in trying to catch Darren as he falls.
Alright. Do I roll something?
No, this is just giving Darren advantage.
Okay.
I'm presuming you do that then.
Yeah.
Okay. Please, please, please. That'll do.
Ooh.
At 20. Don't even need to roll the other dice.
Okay. With Prod's assistance, like you are plummeting to earth, and suddenly, Prod, in a magnificent display of athletic prowess, catches you mid-air. Like you are diving down. Prod catches you by the chest and hip, and catches you mid-air, holding you above him in ballet pirouette style. Wings spread out, one knee to the ground, the other, both legs braced. The
Dirty Dancing pose.
Yes, exactly, like that. And you do not go crashing into the ground. So I will say this. In order to learn to use the wings, you will need to succeed at least 3 dexterity checks over the course of the day. These dexterity checks need to be made from different heights. You have failed the first one.
Can he try again?
You can try
Gonna
again.
have to, I think. Okay.
That was a good start, though. You got some height.
That was a lot more height than I was going for.
That's okay. Look, I caught you.
That you did.
Look.
Much obliged. I don't much fancy finding out how crash landings feel just yet. Okay. Well, we've got the day.
You wanna
Let me go
try
back
again?
to once.
Let's do it twice more. Two more reps, and then we can take a break. How about that?
Sure. There's a lot on my to-do list.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll me a
Okay.
dexterity
Again?
check.
You can do this. You can do this. You can do this.
That is a 5.
You attempt to hop up into the air, and your one of your wings immediately smacks into a building, and you fall over.
Okay.
Okay. Hey. Calm down. This is hard. Let me try this. I'm gonna cast Bless. I'm gonna bless you, and you can roll an extra D4 to your saving throws.
This isn't a saving throw. This
Is
a
it
check.
not?
The saving
Yes.
throw is when Darren falls.
Which
The
might come in
rising
handy
is
nonetheless.
the check.
I'm gonna still
But
do
if-
bless
Okay.
Yeah,
because
here's
when you
some-
like
it's good for
Here's something
morale
I-
if nothing else.
Here's something I will say. Prod can either lend you advantage if you fail, or they can lend you advantage in helping you succeed. But not both.
I see.
So, if you want Prod to help you succeed this check, they can assist you with that. If you want Prod to mitigate the damage of a failure, they can do that instead.
I think I do need to learn how to do this without assistance. So
Okay.
just mitigate the landing. I will opt for.
Okay. Roll me a dexterity check.
Okay. Yep. Mother fudger.
Not having a good time with this. You guys spend an hour or so trying to get this down. And at that point, the city streets start to fill up a little bit, and you don't really have the space to maneuver around anymore. And you realize that at that point, if you want to keep going, you're going to have to start doing this from some height.
Prod, how confident are you at catching me?
Fairly.
Okay.
I got big arms. Essentially a cushion. My abs are hard if tensed, but squishy when not.
Firm but yielding to pressure. Yes, we know.
Yeah.
Right, I will climb the building again.
Climb the building. Just one story. It's at the start.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down here. I got you, boo. What if we like go around this little corner here?
Here I've got a nice kind of like runway. So
I see. Right.
I don't know what a runway is, or a plane for that matter, but nonetheless, it appears to be similar.
My concern is there's probably a building like here. Am I right?
There is a building there, yes.
Yeah, so you're kind of just running off the runway and smack into concrete. There's
It's
less
a
of a
low
building.
It's about the same
Yeah,
height as the
in
building
this
Darren is
direction.
on.
Yeah, counterpoint, if I can just clear the street, I will have a relatively soft landing.
Fair enough. Go for it.
Right,
Okay.
here we go.
Roll me a dexterity check.
Please, Solidamara. Please, God of Dice. 18.
Hey! A success! You take a runner. As you are sprinting forward, you feel your feet suddenly lift off. As your wings spread, the wind current comes underneath your wings and you lift up. And you flap your wings once, twice, 3 times, up into the air, 10 feet, 20 feet, 25 feet, 30 feet, 45 feet. You are higher than you have ever been before, and you
Which
are
is not
flying
saying very much.
with your eyes closed right now. You open them up briefly and you look down, and it is 50 feet straight down to where Prod is, and you hover for a second, and you flap your wings, and the effort, being new to this, does start to take a little bit of a toll, but it feels natural. It feels instinctual. But the height is starting to get to you, so you come down and you settle next to Prod. That is 1 failure, 1 success.
Wait, sorry, we're tracking we're tracking the failures?
Oh, we're tracking the failures. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm tracking the failures as per level of where you've been. So ground floor launching is a failure at the moment.
Okay.
Medium height launching is a success at the moment. Which means, in the future, if you want to get off the ground, you're either going to have to do some work to get that working, or you're going to have to take disadvantage when you attempt to fly from the ground.
Right.
Yeah. That's how this works.
The entire rest of the party is terrestrial.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Like,
Right.
Okay.
you can
Yeah,
find a
you
vantage
could just
point and
stand
then
on my
launch from
shoulders and I
that.
could throw you.
Pardon, Lucy?
You can find a vantage point and launch from that if you want to, and that and like here's what I'll say. If you had succeeded on all 3 checks, you would never need to make a check to fly again.
Oh god.
However,
Okay.
because you have failed the first check, you will need to make a check to attempt to fly in the future. However, the longer you spend practicing your flight, the more you can mitigate that check.
Okay. Let's try something else. I think this is good progress. I think we're doing well. Let's investigate something else I have on my mind for a little bit.
Yeah.
That was very high. Oh.
Oh, I was gonna suggest going higher, like working on your plummeting, because you're better at coming down than you are going up.
Coming down is most of what gravity tries to do to me. Oh.
Yeah.
Is there... Okay, for what I have next in mind, we're going to need a target. Whew. I think, probably. Is there like a secluded alleyway nearby? Or something?
Yeah.
Something
Let's
with
go
like a
down here.
stack of boxes or some such.
Ah. Do you want to do some... Oh, look at my shadow. Sorry. Do you want to do some training?
Yeah, you've got your torch turned on.
Yeah. Okay.
There. Alright. Oh, you're materializing. Were you carrying these all the way?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So... a lot of dragons breathe fire. The one I'm supposed to be doesn't? So I'm not entirely certain what... a lot of me is not the way I was expecting it to be, so I'm not entirely certain what or even if I can quote-unquote breathe. I also have no idea what I need to, like, clench or whatever to do it. So... I don't think this is... I don't know that this is necessarily a case of just, like, pointing at it and saying, doom upon ye, or whatever, but... I'm gonna try and engage my breath weapon if I have one.
Alright. Well, we got some targets over here.
You
Very
probably want
conveniently.
to stand out the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand back.
Some of them are cones, some of them are lines. You probably don't want to be on the wrong end of which.
Okay.
Well, I'll be backing you up the whole time.
Roll me a Constitution check.
Oh, goody. My +0. Yep. Oh, nice landing. 9. It landed so expertly, and it's a 9.
Your first attempt at this feels wrong. Like when you think about like dragons, you think about dragon fire coming from the stomach, and like how whenever like a dragon's described as belching flame or lightning or ice, it's always like it's described as coming up from the stomach out the throat.
Frequently
And
in terms that would trigger emetophobia, yes.
you realize that this feeling is wrong. Trying to force anything up from the stomach just will not do anything. You might throw up, but that's pretty much it. And that's not really what you're going for. It definitely feels wrong to attempt to force something up through the stomach. So you start experimenting with various, like, muscle contractions in your throat. And then you realize that there is a section of yourself, a muscle section that you don't recognize behind the plating just below your throat. It's not your stomach. It's in the area where your lungs are, or between your lungs specifically. Roll me another Constitution check.
Oh boy. Yep. 13.
Okay. It's above a 10, so you're doing good.
Please tell me 10 is the target.
You don't know. You ask something, I might just raise it randomly. You never know. I can do what I like.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no
there are no
there's no rule book for
rules
this.
here. I am the game master. Anyway.
You won't find this in your SRT.
True enough. You sink into this sort of breathing exercise. Sort of inhale, exhale. Then you tense and you push up from your lungs through your throat, and you immediately feel warmth. And suddenly you feel a projectile forcing its way up through your throat and out your mouth. You open your jaws wide, and a 20-foot cone of acid.
Oh, it is a cone.
It is a cone. A 20-foot cone of acid surges from your muzzle and splatters two of the targets. And I will give you a specific cone size here. So here's 20 feet. So it splatters short of the targets, but this is how wide the cone is.
Huh.
So it's 20 feet long by 10 feet wide. A 25-degree cone.
Okie doke. Jotting that bit of information down.
Prod, you watch as Darren's throat glows this greenish neon hue, and suddenly this violently emerald spray of acid projectiles out of his throat and across the sand. You watch as small bits of sand start to smoke and slowly turn into glass as they are slowly seared together by the acid.
Dude, I'm so sorry about those pancakes. I didn't realize you were allergic to peas. Oh my god.
You know, I might be, but that was definitely intentional.
Oh. Your dragon power is like enhanced vomiting?
Acid would appear to be what I breathe.
Ah. That's cool, dude. That's cool.
I'm glad I got that on just the second try, because I don't think I got enough one of those in me today. Oh. That is that is definitely a sensation.
Yeah. It's interesting to look at as well. You feeling okay?
Well, that's not from the stomach, thankfully. So, if I ever have to use that in combat, I'm not splattering carrots over somebody.
Okay. Hang on. I pull out just like a bit of food and then like dunk it in the acid to see how acidic the acid is. Like, does it like melt away like the carrot stick?
What is the pH of Darren's acid blast?
Good question.
Okay. Sure. In that case, Darren, roll me.
You're not having me roll this like for dick measurement, are you?
No, just roll me a d20.
Did you roll for dick measurement?
Oh yes, he did.
It may have come up at some point. Okay. As if you're one to talk Elfie 11 inches in Discord.
Look, that's the size of my heartstrings.
14. Okay.
Yeah, a little above average.
Your acid has a pH of 2.
That's a little shy of sulfuric acid, if memory serves. Which is probably good, because that would definitely hurt to have in me.
Yes. So like the base, the most acidic acid is a 0. You are at a 2.
Neutral is 7.
Then I had this the wrong way around. My breath weapon is more acidic than sulfuric acid. Oh.
Nice. So the carrot starts to melt, kinda. I'm like, okay. Should we run away from this so we don't have to clean it up?
Okay, so the way I calculated this, Nick, for you in chat, is pH scale goes from 0 to 14, right? I have added 3 numbers on the end of each of that, and I've reversed the scale. So it goes from, it goes 0, 0 is alkaline, and then 20 is acid. So, yeah, that's what I've done there. I've gone 0 being, well, technically -3 being something, 0 being alkaline, 14 being major acid, and then so on and so forth. So, I have done the calculations here. But for the acid thing, it's just the way I'm doing it might not seem normal, I guess.
You had like 2+ days to plan this out, so...
I didn't have very long to figure all this out. I mean, and in fairness, I didn't expect anyone to ask me about the acidity of your acid breath, so...
Sorry.
That's fine. But yeah, so on your normal pH scale, your acid would be at a 2. No, lying is acidic, not alkaline. I said I reversed the pH
Otherwise,
scale
I'll call you a
for
bog
these
dragon.
calculations.
Alright.
You're a swamp dragon, not a bog dragon.
I guess. Right, hang on. So if that's what comes out of me, then dragons are usually resistant to whatever it is they breathe out.
Do you
Would
want to,
you
like,
like
poke
to-
your finger in your breath and see what happens?
I mean, I can do a little better than that. Because I have Acid Splash as a cantrip.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to move away from you.
Very good idea. Very good idea. I'm gonna hold my hand over...
I'm
or
gonna
hold,
go-
like, my forearm over the splatter zone, as it were.
Like, go more towards the targets over there.
Acid Splash does not have that big a range.
No. It's like a
cantrip.
target, that's it. It can maybe get 2 people within 5 feet of each other, that's it.
I mean, like, well, I'm mostly thinking about I have to walk on the path back, and I like these shoes.
Oh, right. I mean, I'm not wearing shoes
Oh,
currently,
that's-
so... Just...
Go for it!
Okay. Hold my forearm over what is currently a splatter zone. And then I'm just going to cast Acid Splash and see what happens. I expect this to hurt.
Okay. How much damage does Acid Splash do as a normal thing?
As a normal thing,
Yeah,
it starts at... Yeah, it starts at 1d6, but it's... Because of my caster level, it's free.
Okay, so roll me 3d6.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that. Hip. Self-harm for science! 9.
Okay, so you take 4 points of acid damage.
Ha 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 ha.
It doesn't
Okay.
do as much as you would think. Your scales seem to be protecting you from most of the worst of the damage, but it does still hurt. You're not immune.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't expecting it to be a picnic.
Also, I was just thinking, like, you know, like, fire dragons, if you hit them with, like, ice or water or stuff, they really hurt. What's the opposite of a acid dragon?
Solid question. I don't know that I've ever read about one.
I can tell
Should
you
we
the
go
answer,
to a
but I'm not
library and
going
read
to.
about...
I
Should we-
haven't. I'm well read in dragons, and I have an intelligence of 22, Lucian.
Go to a library then.
This is not just something I knew I would know.
No, because you have a generalized research of dragons.
Well, more precisely, I have a very specific. I have a hyper-focused study of dragons to get here. With like childhood story knowledge as the base. Okay, well, that stung, but I have killed people with this before, so definitely resistant to acid, I think. I'm not trying that again, to be sure, though.
Yeah. So you think you might be, like, allergic to something as well?
Well, I mean, literally every part of me is new, so...
Should we go try and figure out what you're allergic to? Like, we could go to a library, or, hear me out, we create small, contained, like, we find an ice box, shove your hand in it, see if it hurts a lot. We find a little fire, shove your hand in it, see if it hurts a lot.
I mean, slight flaw with that issue.
Mud snowball, see if earth is your antithesis.
Okay, significant flaw with this issue, which is that I don't know that I was ever exposed to such things before I was a dragon. So I couldn't necessarily tell you if they hurt more or less. I definitely had not exposed myself to my own acid, but again, I've definitely killed people with that quite a bit. It did a number on those golems we saw the other day.
Does this mean we have to go to a library? This was meant to be a bro day, and bro days mean you set yourself on fire. It's alright, we can bro up at the library, see if there's
I
any
mean, we can
cool...
take another stab at flights, and then we can go to a library.
Oh yeah, we should also probably spar at some point so you get used to your, like, sneaky ways, but also with your new, slightly less conspicuous body.
I mean, I've been doing well with that, but yeah, I kind of just want to figure this all out now before. If I take too long, I get the sensation that somebody, quite possibly me, but also possibly maybe Ingvar, maybe Arcus, maybe you, might just get more hurt than you otherwise could be if I was on top of all of this.
Fair enough.
Like,
But I don't think so. Nothing gets through this armor.
Prod, I've seen you be hideously injured not 2 days ago.
What?
You got stabbed in the abs, remember?
No. I was fine. I'm fine. Look! There's nothing. Abs are glorious, as per usual.
There's a
I gotta
small
lay on hands,
scar.
it's fine.
It's
fine.
There is. You notice, Darren, that there is a small scar. It's more prominent than you might expect from someone who has the ability to heal themselves through divine magic.
Hmm. Let's just agree that you would be even less likely to get really hurt if I knew how to belch acid or fly.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you want to try and jump off
that
the
it would
cooler then?
definitely make me feel guilty if you got hurt and I wasn't able to do that to help.
Yeah. Do you want to jump off a building? I'll try and catch you.
I think I'm good on the building. Let's. I can't believe I'm saying this, but let me get on your shoulders.
Fuck yeah!
I hope this
Okay.
qualifies as like close enough to the ground.
Maybe.
Oh
I
boy,
will
you
say
better run.
This
You better
will
run
allow
very
you-
quickly, or else you're not getting.
This will allow Prod to assist you with this, essentially.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna hold onto your ankles for the first, 15 meters, then I'm gonna let go, okay?
My ankles are like 3 inches higher than they used to be. You're holding onto my foot.
Okay,
Thank you.
roll me a dexterity check with advantage.
Oh boy.
Rod's sprinting like a maniac.
Yep.
Let's do this!
Right, that is a 12 on the first roll, and on the second,
Come on.
that is a 10.
Okay. You managed to get some decent air. And you managed to land without issue. However, you were being assisted in your launch. So you managed it, but you don't know that you can count it as a full success.
Okay. Well, that was only the first try. That kind of worked.
You're on the right path. You think you're on the right path.
Is there... Are dragons known for caring for their young? What are the
Not
odds that they actually
particular,
teach their children how to fly?
Dragons aren't particularly... Okay, studies on dragons, especially in Rathan, are few and far between. Dragon young, even less so. A researcher getting close to a dragonling before it's been hatched, basically impossible. Dragons are very protective. But once a dragonling is hatched, you know that they're kind of on their own. They generally learn to hunt and fly through trial and error, and it takes like a couple of weeks, but they usually have like a stock of essentially like fats and sugars that keep them running for like the first few weeks before they learn to hunt, so that they can figure these things out through trial and error.
Right.
As far as you know. But again,
Yeah.
research on dragons, especially young dragons who have not strayed far from their mothers, very difficult to get.
Right.
You want to try again?
I think I can kind of see how to do this. I'm gonna try this without the assist, if you don't mind. And just see if I can put this knowledge to work.
I'll just cheer you on at the sidelines. Do you want me there to see if I should catch you? I'll be in the catch you position.
I think I'm getting good at the landing bits. Hopefully.
I will say, the more you do this, the lower the DC gets. That's how this is working.
Good.
The DC originally started at a 15.
Shall not take advantage of that.
12.
Oh, goody.
It was at a 13, so you missed it barely just there.
Okay. Without advantage.
Without advantage.
Come on.
You have to beat a 12.
Litamara, please. Please. Mother fudge!
You face plant into the road. Like,
I'm okay.
You just like, you flap once, you hop up, and a cart rushes by, and you face plant into the road.
Oh, dude.
It's fine. Just got a claw stuck in the pavement.
Happens to the best of us.
Okay. For real this time.
Right.
Come on.
Take a moment, take a drink, prepare yourself. Okay? Hydrate. You've been working out. You can do this! Woo!
Okay. This isn't even the last time I have to do this, because there's a whole other tier of this to do. Oh boy.
Hey,
13 on the
13.
nose.
You, the people around you have started to gather to watch this spectacle. Like it's nearing midday now. The road is filled with people. There's vendors and shoppers and various guards and stuff. And they're all gathering around. They sort of give you a wide berth down the road as you sprint and spread your wings and launch. And 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet, 60 feet, 75 feet, 80 feet, 90 feet. You hear below you the cheers. You hear occasional, you prod hear clinking of coins as people exchange bets. Who've been watching you for like the most of the morning as you figure all of this stuff out. And you are flying, and you are high, and then you spiral down and around and land next to Prod. And it feels good. You managed 75 feet in height from a ground takeoff.
It was the third most terrifying thing I've ever done.
Fuck yeah!
2 successes.
Big, like, bro chest bump. Oh, you did it! You did it! Oh.
1 more to go.
That's so well done.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of you.
It might still be a bit weird going off a particularly high ledge, but I think I can probably manage
Now,
most of this.
Here's something I will say.
Oh,
You
no.
can not take the next check. But if you don't take the next check, whenever you fly above 75 feet, you will need to make a check.
Hmm. See,
And-
lying the Fae of Stories says that would be very fun to have that happen. Lying the tabletop role-playing gamer says that would be definitely a bad occasion.
So,
knowing my dice.
Here's the thing.
Hmm.
And I'll lay this out all in front of you just so that you understand what's gonna happen. If you succeed this check, like the high flight check, you will be able to fly wherever you want, however you want, whenever. If you choose not to do it, whenever you go above 75 feet, you will need to account for wind speed and direction, and you will need to account for your vertigo. It will be 2 checks, one for wisdom, one for dexterity. And the wisdom one will be a saving throw.
I can bless you. Do you want to get blessed?
Those are your options. You can choose to leave it here. If you never plan to go above 75 feet, you can choose to leave it here. In order to go above 75 feet,
come up.
In order to go above 75 feet, you will have to overcome your vertigo.
Also
So
knowing
it is
our
an innate thing.
dearest friend Lucian, the next time you need to fly, there will be absolutely something above 75 feet.
Yeah, but we'll have to I'll have to
You
dive
don't
out of
know
an
that.
airship or something.
I mean,
No, we don't know
airships
that, but I know
exist,
you.
Hmm.
You know me, but as a point, getting over your vertigo, this is not the only way to get over your vertigo. There are other options. You don't have to force yourself through a high flight course to get over your vertigo. You can do other things to deal with that. But it's not
Does
going
this
to
mean
be today.
we finally figured out exactly where Dwarven Vertigo comes from? Or is it still
Yes.
conceivable that my brain is Dwarven? Or my
Dwarven
inner ear or
vertigo.
whatever.
Most dwarves have vertigo, you know. Well, not most dwarves, some dwarves, but
Many.
the vertigo that you understand as being vertigo, you are slowly starting to realize is dwarves' pure attraction, I guess you could say, to being in or above or on the ground. Basically, it's not like a sexual thing or anything like that. It's literally just
Just the way you worded that.
Yeah, it's like a magnetic attraction. Dwarves prefer being on the ground
An
or
instinctual
under the ground.
preference.
An instinctual preference that sometimes extends to vertigo. Now, you know that when you're in caverns, even if you're like in a cavern above like a massive chasm, vertigo doesn't seem to affect you there. But outside, above the surface of the planet, high above the surface of the planet, it fucks you up. So it might be a dwarvish thing, innately. And maybe that'll lessen off with time as you are a dragonborn, but right now, it still affects you.
Think I can go higher?
Okay, I'll still be here to catch you.
You might not be enough to catch me if I go higher. I might be on my own if I go higher.
Okay. I am going to bless you. You don't get a choice in this. You are being blessed. You have a plus 1 d4 to saving throws. Okay? Where are you jumping off from?
I am gonna start from here and just go as high up as I can.
Okay, I will try and be underneath you as best I can.
Okay.
Hey, try and land on that thing!
The
the
pool?
roof. This roof thing. This roof
Oh,
thing.
the thing with the fire on top?
Yeah.
Okay, yep, sure. Well,
Just don't land on the fire.
let's finish up this this Spider-Man web-slinging training montage section, I guess.
Okay.
Alright.
Roll me a dexterity check.
Dice, I swear to God. Yep. Nat 20!
Nat 20, let's go! You sprint. You feel the earth beneath your feet. Thump. Thump. Thump, 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 thump. You beat your wings. And you leap into the air. Straight up. 20 feet. 40 feet. 60 feet. The ground gets distant. 80 feet. 100 feet. 120. 140. 160. 200. The ground is dizzyingly distant now. Barest specks of people staring up at you, pointing as you rise across the skyline of the city. The vertigo sets. You feel the horizon bend. You feel your mind sort of wrestling with the idea of being so high. The fear, the panic starts to set in. I need you to roll me a saving throw. Wisdom, please.
Which I get the 1d4, was it?
You
get
1d4
another
from
1d4.
Bless.
Okay, okay.
I love you, my man! You can hear it like ringing in your ears.
Okay, there's the base. Just an 8. Oh god. And it's a total of 9.
You can spend your inspiration on this.
I can spend. I will. Yep. Come on.
One.
Mother fudge! It's a 9.
9.
It's gonna stay a 9.
Can I spend a lucky on making someone else re-roll?
Does that have a range limit?
I don't think lucky has a range limit. No.
Then yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna use a lucky re-roll.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it doesn't have if it doesn't have a range limit, yeah, you can do it.
It does not have a range limit.
Yep. Okay, that is 16 total.
You can still add bless.
That is with bless.
That's
The
No,
bless
I mean,
gave me
you can-
1.
You can re-roll the bless for each of these rolls, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Oh!
That's what I'm letting you do, because that's how Baldur's Gate does it, and I think that's pretty cool actually.
It's still a 1!
It's still a 1. 16.
Still 16.
Well, the good news
God,
is...
why did the dice pick today to despise me?
The good news is, you needed a 15.
Oh.
You, as you are hovering there 200 feet above the surface of the planet, your wings burn with effort and energy. You close your eyes, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. The cold air stings, but it feels freeing. You open your eyes and the horizon levels, and you feel at there is a rush of wonder and freedom and sudden unexpected joy at being so far above all your people. Then you hear blah, blah, as an airship flies by. Someone in the cabin goes, "Get off the fucking skylane, you twit!"
Oh, if I hadn't already used my breath weapon.
You feel peace and euphoria at this. What do you do?
There were muscles that I identified essentially whilst I was doing the breath weapon tests. I'm gonna let out a triumphant draconic roar, and then I'm going to come into land.
Okay.
Which sounds kind of like a mix between King Ghidorah from the Godzilla movies and the Velociraptors from Jurassic Park.
I need to roll something. Okay. What's your spell save DC?
How many
spell
people
save
shit
is-
themselves in town? Sorry.
Let's see. My save DC is 19.
19. You watch, you let out this roar, and immediately you watch as the airship that just went past you swerves to the left as the airship captain is suddenly attacked by Draconic Fear.
Oh, right, yes, that's a thing I have.
Yes. You watch as the airship sort of swerves to the left before it swerves back into lane, into the skyline.
Marking off my forceful presence use for the day.
Yeah. Yeah. There
Look
you have
look
it.
what you need to mimic a fraction of my power.
Yeah. You have succeeded in your attempt to bring yourself this freedom and this feeling of euphoria. And you can fly. Okay. You take a few moments to do a couple of loop-de-loops through the sky before you descend back towards Prod, who is standing on the ground by the large tower that he indicated you should probably try and land on. There is a feeling of pure joy that flows throughout you at this point. Yeah.
I'm just gonna pseudo superhero landing right behind you, bro.
Yeah, you
Mama.
3-point land, wings flared out to the sides. Yeah.
Whew.
Oh, that was so cool.
I know, right?
From now on, flying, whenever you want to fly, all you have to do is use it as a bonus action to activate it. It's essentially the same as a disengage action or a dash action. You can just use a bonus action to activate your flying ability, and you will be able to use fly in any scenario.
I'm able to use disengage and dash as a cunning action. Does that also include this?
As a what?
As a cunning action for my second level rogue ability, I'm able to use dash, disengage, or hide as bonus actions.
That's what I just
Does
said.
that include turning on the wings? Okay, good.
That's literally what I just said.
Okay, right. So it is covered under cunning action.
Yeah, I did just say you can use it as a bonus action.
I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, yeah. No, it's essentially a part of your cunning action abilities now. Is turning on your flight.
Nice.
So yeah.
For the benefit of chat, my fly speed is twice my land speed.
Yeah, your fly speed is 60 feet. Which is pretty good.
I can now theoretically cover 180 feet in a single round.
Yeah.
Fuck
Which
yeah.
is about 2/3 of a full dragon's fly speed.
Uh-huh.
The full dragon's fly speed is 90 feet.
But you're small, so you get less air resistance, and that's why you go so fast.
That's about. It's about 6. It's about 6 meters per second, or just shy of 22 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, I mean, you're going the speed of a relatively slow motorcycle.
I mean, yeah, 13 miles per hour, but still.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Oh. Oh. There's so much going through my skull at the moment.
I think this is the happiest I've ever seen you.
Quite possibly. It is.
Ah,
I mean, barring the airship up there that can get bent, it is so
I
peaceful
will
up
also
there.
say, Line, you have hit a milestone.
You are kidding me.
No, you've hit a milestone. You have overcome your vertigo. You have the ability to fly. You have leveled up.
I got a level up for getting these wings.
Yes, but you have
I'm gonna
overcome a
out-level
major
the
part
party at
of
this
your.
rate.
You have overcome a major part of your character's story. So yeah, you've leveled up.
I mean, I'll take it. Yes.
I'm not
Wasn't
leveling you
expecting
all
that
up at the
today.
same time. I'm going off like story milestones for each of you. So some of you might level up faster than others, and then you might have a big break where you don't level up. You know? But, and I should stress this as a point, the more you engage with your personal story, the more you ask me to engage with your personal stories, the more likely it is that you'll level up faster. Because you're engaging with your personal stories, you're looking to take on those milestones. That's kind of how it works, with me anyway. The more interest and engagement you show with your own stories, as well as the stories of other people, the faster you're going to level.
Prod, what level are you currently?
good question.
12, I think, but I don't quite remember.
I'm level 11.
Yeah, I'm 3 levels higher than you now.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna out-level the party at this
In
rate.
fairness, this city has been mostly about Darren's sort of engagement stuff.
Yeah.
And we've done
I mean,
a
you all
lot
did fight a
of...
massive snake without me.
Yes, that is true. But yeah, Darren has had a lot of stuff happen in this city, and we're getting through to other character storylines as well. But a lot of the librarian stuff isn't here, and some of Ingvar's stuff is here, and a lot of your stuff, Prod, is not quite here, but it's getting there. We're gonna find out some
Hell
stuff in
yeah.
the future.
We'll figure it out.
But yeah, for a 0.5 session... Carry on.
I was just gonna say, should we go to the library and end it whilst doing research about acid dragons?
Sure. I do want to point out, though, it's funny that you gave me the, passive detect magic earlier today, because, I just got blind sense from Rogue.
I mean,
Like,
here's the thing.
you have despised my alert feat for months, and now I have blind sense.
And now I've made it immensely worse. I'm well aware. I'm well aware.
Okay.
Yes. At any rate, you two head off to the library or the tavern or wherever you end up at the end of the day. And you spend an evening in companionship and enjoy reading. Lots of reading. Prod doesn't enjoy the reading. Prod spends most of the time just staring at shelves going, why am I here? What am I doing with my life?
No, I spend the entire time trying to chat up the library. The person, not the librarian, but the person in the library who's managing that library. That librarian.
Yes, that librarian would be a lady called Delia. She is about 75 years old, human. She has really big glasses that are on a chain around her neck. She's wearing a flowery blouse and a turban. She's got this heavy stack of tomes under one arm all the time. And she sounds like this. Hello, darling. What can I do for you? Is everything all right?
I'm just here with my friend. Yes, I'm great. I'm just here with my friend. How are you, my love?
Oh, I'm wonderful, darling. I had this little cough for the past few days, but it's clearing up nicely. What can I do for you today? Are there any books I can help you find?
You might have to help my friend find some stuff about dragons.
Dragons?
Hey, I've got some
interesting
lay on hands.
topic.
I could probably help you. Out with that cough. Can I help the old lady out with her cough using lay on hands?
Roll me a persuasion check.
I help.
How do you help with a persuasion check? Is that advantage?
Hold her
Yes.
steady, I guess.
Advantage. There we go. Whee!
It's only fair I
19.
give you a hand.
That is a 19, I believe, with advantage.
Okay. This elderly librarian looks you up and down. Her eyes rest a little long on your ab window. And then she goes, well, I mean, if you'd like to accompany me to the back office, I wouldn't mind a little bit of lay on hand, she says. And he takes you to the back office.
That's not what I meant. I genuinely use lay on hands and see if I can help her with her cough.
Yeah. You use lay on hands, help her with her cough, and you spend a vigorous afternoon with the librarian who you attempted to seduce earlier anyway. So
Attempting to seduce?
Where are those hands right now?
I'm holding the tomes. I'm her strong boy for the day.
you spend a
I genuinely mean it.
you spend a vigorous afternoon assisting the librarian sorting out books.
Woo! Like,
Yeah.
I'm not anything unless I'm a bit helpful every now and then. And look, librarians are nice. They will help you do illegal shit. Don't ask me how I know this.
Yes, this is true. Librarians are nice.
Librarians
They
are
will
the
help you do
last
illegal shit.
vanguard of civilization.
Yes, this is true. Yeah, and you guys spend the afternoon in the library.
Dude, diary, I got
roll me an
dick.
intelligence check.
Okay.
Ooh.
Bump. 16 total.
Okay. LRL, thank you for gifting Nick a sub so that they don't have to deal with the ads anymore. Okay, you find on the subject of copper dragons, which is what you intend to become, and green dragons, the supposed antithesis to copper dragons. At least, let me check my notes. Let me check to see if that is actually what I've got written down.
I mean, copper turns green with age.
Sorry, not green dragons, black dragons.
Oh.
Yes, black dragons are the antithesis to copper dragons. In this instance, because, and you find this out quite interestingly, copper dragons have acidic breath. Black dragons have similarly dangerous breath, but it is alkaline in nature.
So,
Yeah.
no bogs for you.
Apparently. We had already been through one, but I wasn't quite scaly at that point.
Yeah, isn't that like a mud dragon then? A black dragon? They're like the alkaline. no.
Yeah.
This is
This-
out
this-
knowledge. Sorry, that's too meta.
But yeah, you also find out a few other things. Copper dragons are usually found in desert environments. In fact, a lot of metallic dragons are found in either like desert or mostly sandy environments, because the sand lends itself to burnishing their scales, which is why they look so metallic a lot of the time. Black dragons are usually found in swamps, or in swampier environments that allow them to blend in with their surroundings a lot easier. And you also find out that a lot of metallic dragons are usually viewed as the more intelligent types, whereas chromatic are usually viewed as the more bestial. But both are believed to be intelligent in their own ways. Yeah, that is what you learn from a 16 intelligence check on the library.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
So if we encounter a black dragon, I'm scarpering.
Well, it also means you'll defeat it more easily, and it'll defeat you.
We could hope. We can hope. I guess I'll have to rely on your talents for a bit if that
My
happens.
impeccable abs.
I'm reminded of that scar. Yes, your impeccable abs.
Thank you. High five. And then end the montage? I don't know. Is this what we wanted to do today?
Yeah.
I think that's about everything. But I don't. Player Elfie may not want to hear the rest, I think.
Ah!
A thing was set up there.
Okay. Prod's gonna head back to the tavern and, head back to the sauna and just have a nice soak. And hopefully that's not where Darren is going.
No.
Where are you heading, Darren?
For the... Could head back to the tavern, just go to my room. I don't have a small amount of money on me today. I'm gonna see if there's a brothel nearby.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
Yep. There's a 23 total.
There is a brothel nearby. Well, it's not marketed as a brothel. It's marketed as a quote-unquote house of pleasure. In this instance, Madame Shoshana's house of pleasure. You enter in through a beaded curtain into a relatively dimly lit foyer. It's very warm inside. And there's this sort of counter section at the front. There's these long velvet curtains here and there. You can just about see through the sliver of the curtain itself of many mostly nude bodies on the other side, walking around, waitresses and stuff serving drinks in very scantily clad attire. Sitting at the front desk, and admittedly, sitting outside as well, as you approach the building, there's this heavy-set orcish fellow with a big club over his shoulders as like a bouncer, who sort of gives you a once-over before opening the beaded curtain and letting you through. And at the counter, there is this elderly lady, maybe in her 50s, 60s, half-orc woman, who sort of pulls, like, she's got like this pince-nez pair of glasses that she takes off as you come in, and she says, "Well, hello, dearie. What can we do for you this evening? All pleasures to abound the flesh and the scales here at Madame Shoshana's."
This is possibly going to sound a little specific, but you happen to have any dwarven girls working today?
Dwarven? We don't often get requests for dwarven ladies, but we do have a few interesting, shall we say, seamstresses working with us this evening. Would you prefer bearded or non-bearded?
Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. Very well. We shall assign you Alira. She comes at 20 gold an hour.
Well, I shan't be too presumptuous, and I'll pay for 1 hour.
Okay. You pay for 1 hour. You are led into a relatively pleasant parlor room. So the way this place is arranged is there's a large main chamber that has a lot of different people just smoking and chatting. And as you enter into, there's this long hallway past that, and there's a couple of different rooms. You enter into a parlor that has this large bed on it, and you are seated and left to your own devices. About 5 minutes later, this dwarvish woman steps in. She has a long black beard braided with gold wire and filigree. Her hair is shorn short on one side and braided long on the other. She is wearing a chainmail bikini, and she is also wearing a heavy pair of pauldrons and boots, and nothing else. She has, let's say, C cups, perhaps, for breasts, and she is holding over her shoulder a relatively sturdy-looking battle axe. More for show than anything else, but it seems to be what people expect for, like, dwarvish women. And she enters the room and she goes, "Well, I've never had one gales before. What are you looking for, darling?"
Okay, I'm not gonna roleplay an entire sex scene. So I shall simply say...
I am giving you the idea of who you are interacting with.
Yeah. I'm simply going to say that Darren is finishing out his day losing his virginity at very long last.
Fair enough. And that is what
because he has never been comfortable being undressed in front of anyone, and today has been a very good day.
Yes. You spend a vigorous evening with Alia, who you do find out the battle axe is a complete prop.
Good.
You after the evening's through, you actually take a look at the craftsmanship, and it's decent craftsmanship, but it's not dwarven craftsmanship. It's like human craftsmanship. It's passable. and you spend a vigorous evening exploring parts of yourself that you never really understood before. But now you have gained a very, very deep understanding of. And you return to your room sated, and having enjoyed yourself thoroughly. Question is, do you spend more than an hour there?
I need more than an hour.
I mean, that's up to you. Do you think Darren's newly found body would be able to manage more than an hour?
Darren has the endocrine system of a teenager right now, so probably I should make that 2 hours. At least.
Okay. So you spend 40 gold on a 2 hours session at Shoshana's, and then you return to the tavern. You can beckon LP back now. If they're even...
If they're watching.
Hold on. I shall summon them. Oh, no, you've summoned them. Never mind.
Good eve.
Good eve. Welcome back. We have finished the brothel scene.
Oh God.
Don't worry, I wasn't too descriptive about that one.
Yeah, I don't get into remotely detailed. There was very much a rapid fade to black.
You both return to the tavern, and you get some rest. And I'll need one more wisdom saving throw from you, Darren. If you don't mind. We're waking up the next morning.
Oh. Ah. Okay. Yep. That's 5.
Okay. We'll find out what that means next session. Thank you everybody for joining us.
God.
I hope you all had fun. We shall see you all next time for some more Shadows of Sorcery. That'll be next week. That will be our next full session. For now though, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for joining us this evening. I hope you all had fun. I certainly did. And remember, lying asked for this.
I had legitimate character motivations.
You
for
did.
This.
I will agree. You did. But you did ask for this, and you told me exactly what I was allowed to talk about. So this is on you. As for now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for joining us. We are going to go and raid. Who's live right now? Ooh, Fiona's live. They're doing some King of the Castle. Thank you all very much for joining us this evening, everybody. I hope you all had fun. It was a very informative session. Have a good evening and a very good night. And we shall see you all next time. Ta-ta for now. Whee!